All right, welcome back to TGD Today, right here on TGD TV and TGD Radio, of course. Al Cloyd, Hugh Roy III, and George Honeycutt bringing you what's happening in the world of golf on Roundtable.
That's right.
Our open discussion.
It's a moon.
Instead of
It's not
round.
totally round, yeah.
Dude,
Well, he's right.
can we go by CVS and get him his pills? I mean, Jiminy Christmas.
I went yesterday, so I'm in good shape today.
Oh, you went yesterday?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I got a little something for you out in the truck.
You can't beat it.
Yeah. That's because you're a bud. You're a rosebud.
Life is good.
Yeah, boy.
Roundtable, boys. Solheim Cup.
Yes,
What'd you
sir.
think?
Interesting.
Let's talk about the Solheim Cup. The winners, the U.S. squad, comes back in singles matches.
Yeah.
I mean, they're 6 points down. They come back from oblivion and end up winning this thing.
I think it's awesome. I mean, there's no other words for it.
You know?
When you get a fire lit underneath you,
Yeah.
that's what happens.
Let me ask the question. If they had not gotten that certain fire, the controversy underneath them, they wouldn't have won?
No, I think it'd have been a lot closer.
So let's talk
Closer
about the
than it was?
controversy.
No, you're talking 1 point instead of a half a point, or maybe a tie, or they went out and won. What was it, 8-2?
In the singles,
In the
yeah.
singles.
Yeah.
Yep.
To win it, and the whole controversy. We talked about this yesterday, George, for a little bit. You and I did my rant the other day, and I just personally, I just think that Suzanne Pedersen and Corinne Koch handled the whole thing wrong, as far as golf etiquette, courtesy, respect. Mm-hmm. But I do understand the simple fact that until you're told it's good, you don't touch it.
That's
And
right.
That's that. But the way that the whole thing was handled, I think, was kind of amateurish, and I think Julie Inkster put it the best way. It's BS.
Well, Suzanne Patterson was absolutely within the rules of golf to do what she did. No
I'm
doubt
not
about
saying
it.
she didn't. Seve
No doubt about
Ballesteros
it.
did too. There were a lot of people that played within the game of golf
No
that
different
people
than in-
could not stand because of the way they did it and how they did it and the attitude used towards the rule, using that rule of golf. You can say, well, it's competitiveness, it's sport, it's sportsmanship or gamesmanship is what I'm looking for.
Right, gamesmanship.
And
Right.
to me, that's if that's the way you are, I'm just going to beat your brains out and say, leave me alone, goodbye. Because that's not what I'm going to
Yeah.
do to you.
Well, it's like
Right.
I
I'm going to
brought up,
beat you straight up, but I'm going to be a gentleman and shake your hand too.
Yes, sir.
it's like one of our clandestine meetings like we had yesterday. Al, you're invited, dude, and whenever you
All
want to
right.
come.
You got it, man. I'm there.
Whenever you want
Just
to.
let me know.
We take minutes on toilet paper.
You can't beat
That
a
way
deal
we
like
can
that.
destroy it.
Heck yeah.
That's
Okay.
just TMI.
My comments yesterday, Hugh, were we saw this similar situation occur with Annika Sorenstam, where she hit the chip shot, she pitches it into the hole for birdie to win the hole. Then she's notified that she had played out of turn. And it was determined by a rules official that, yes, one of the U.S. players was a foot further out than Annika. Mm-hmm. So they made her replay the shot. And, of course, she missed the second time.
Right.
And lo behold, that happened in the first round. And then, of course, what ends up happening, Europe ends up coming back and winning. Now, flip-flop, here's the U.S. squad getting assessed a loss of hole because of the quick pickup, and U.S. ends up winning. So are those spurs, are those charges, are those emotions that, otherwise would not have been there and probably did not have an effect on the outcome?
Well, yes, and they're both very similar in one specific way. Each person should have asked, is it my turn to play or is this good? Mm-hmm. Because if you go to play a shot, you say, well, who's away? I mean, how many times do you do that when you play in your Saturday group? Or when we go play golf, who's away? Whose turn is it? Annika went ahead and played, and she made it, and they said, wait a minute, you're away. I mean, yeah, it's the same situation. I agree. Mm-hmm. The thing that got me about this past weekend was the simple fact of how the LPGA was starting to really improve their image and the way people were starting to follow the LPGA Tour as far as the average golfer watching golf. And I think that whole situation has knocked them back a few flights of stairs in what they were trying to build and create. I think it's tarnished that image.
But also, I will go to the other side of the coin in argument to say that that situation, which occurred in the second round, it was social media expanded upon throughout Twitter, throughout Facebook, throughout everything, that so much improved their market share and viewership on the final day during singles play that otherwise they wouldn't have seen.
Well,
so you got to sit and wonder, hey, was this staged?
Yeah.
No,
it wasn't staged.
But it wasn't. I know that, but I'm saying.
But I see I know what you're saying, and I agree with you 100%. And I think Al's going to say the same thing. But I just think it's the image that they're trying to create is something that's extremely important. And I think Suzanne Pedersen has, and even though she came back and apologized, people are like, so what? It's too late now.
Well, I was listening.
I've seen too many of those on Facebook and stuff.
I was listening this morning to a quote unquote experienced golf analyst, and he made the comment that, I actually watched some of the Solheim, and some of these girls actually hit some pretty good shots.
Not some of them.
And
Not some of them.
that was his comments.
It sounds like Charlie.
Just to get to that level, that's where they're at. They're hitting.
They're the best of the best.
The best. That's correct. I wouldn't want to take any of them.
Would you say the same thing in the Ryder Cup? I mean, this is the Solheim Cup. This is their Ryder Cup. This is how it's done. This is the best women. Now, we've argued that 8 of the top 30 in the world aren't even there. That's agreed, but that's just because of the format. That's the team structure.
Correct.
We don't have any option over that. The teams themselves don't have any option over that. We're sorry Lydia Ko couldn't be there, and I argued till I'm breathless that they should be there.
Oh, no
doubt.
doubt.
Some way, shape, or form.
Yep.
But
as well as she's playing now.
for you to make a comment, I finally watched some of this, and they actually hit some pretty good shots, and it was somewhat entertaining, and I'm sitting there going, man, you talk about disservice to the LPGA.
Disrespect.
Yep.
I mean, we
those girls put their life into that.
It's their profession.
Yeah.
It's their career,
their whole,
just like the guys.
Yep.
Definitely.
Definitely.
So I enjoyed it. It was I enjoyed day 1. I enjoyed day 2. And then when the controversy came up, I go, guys, just leave this alone.
Yep. I think it really boils down to that.
She broke the rules.
Yep. It boils down to everybody likes a wreck. You know what I mean?
God, yeah.
I mean, it's just a fact.
Rubberneckers.
Rubberneckers.
We've said this 100 times right here on this network. That's why reality TV gets the market share that they do, because people like to live off the demise of others.
It's amazing. It really is.
Well, it's no different than my lovely wife that's watching us right now at work. She's so obsessed with this Shark Tank thing. She's watching Cuban and all these people do the Shark Tank.
Right.
She loves that. And the best part is she'll come here. You got to hear what Cuban said and how he just goes, "That's the dumbest and worst I've ever seen. I'm out." Boom.
Right.
It makes you laugh.
Sure.
Oh yeah.
And that's
Definitely.
pretty much where you're coming from. It's
Yep.
watching the demise. I mean, these girls busted their butts. The way that things were handled, it got too political. It got too, media oriented, and it's just it.
Laura Davies came out with her statement.
Loved it
on Sunday.
Loved it.
She's great.
And that's fine. But the point is this was a rule in the game of golf. It's in the rule book. She messed up. She picked up early. She should have just walked over and I think if she went over to market, then she would have been given it.
But see, here's the difference in.
But the match was all square.
I understand.
They were on number 17.
Just listen.
And she totally missed the hole by 3 feet.
This is where she's a rookie. This is the difference. And the reason that Laura said what she said, and Julie Inkster and some of the others have said what they said. You miss the putt and they just go walking off, I'm going to go mark it and stand there until they tell me what to do. I'm going to be the jerk about it.
Right.
Right. Because the fact that they were disrespectful enough, and that's what upset me, is that they just walked off the green.
But they were obviously turned around to see her pick it up because they immediately called it.
Because somebody said something to them.
If you look at the camera angle, dude, they were standing there with sideways looking back like this, and then she goes over and does the backhand flip, and then they go, wait, whoa, we didn't do that. We didn't give her the putt.
And so you can see how they played it. That's what I'm trying to say. That's what got me is the way they handled it.
Okay. I agree with that.
They played them
I agree
into
with that.
and it's bullcrap.
Okay, I agree to that.
So you know what?
But she also had a partner standing right there. She also had 2 caddies standing right there.
And her partner was yelling, "Don't pick it up," and the girl did. Rookie mistake. Like I said, I would have gone over there and marked it, and just stood there and held my ball and stood like this, going,
That's
y'all,
cool.
Y'all are over there. What do you want me to do?"
You just put an end to it right there that it was a rookie mistake.
It was.
She was upset that she missed the cup by 3 feet.
But
No
the way
doubt.
that it was handled after the fact, that's where everybody else got upset.
Well,
And Julie
again,
Easter, Laura Davies.
again,
you got European
if she
players.
goes over and marks it, is this thing going in an opposite? Do they never catch Europe in the singles matches?
Good question. We don't know.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah,
We don't know.
we don't
Okay.
know.
All right, you're to write an essay on that and get back with me. We'll put it on WordPress.
You'll get right on that.
I'm not going to put it on WordPress. I'm just going to say you look at what the European players said and veterans you said against what the U.S. veterans, and they all agreed that it was
And
bullcrap.
I'll
Well-
guarantee you there were some sponsors who had a say-so in that, too, for that apology to come out.
I promise you.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, sure there were.
Guarantee you. Because
Yeah.
she's not the
Good
nicest
point.
person in the world.
Good point.
Met her, been around her. She,
Well,
she scares me.
yeah.
That's
a lot,
saying
a lot
something
of
right
women.
there.
A lot of women do.
No.
No,
No. This woman would scare you, G.I. Joe.
Mm-hmm.
Or captain of the Air Force, whatever.
Dun,
they
dun,
call
dun,
it.
dun.
Dapper Dan.
Overall, the U.S. squad played phenomenally. What they did in the singles matches, I've even got to give kudos to Michelle Wee. I mean, her winning 6 and 4. I mean,
Yeah, she wasn't really playing very well coming
no,
into that.
she wasn't playing at all well.
Nope.
Are you eating more crow?
Michelle
Michelle Wee and Paula Kramer.
let's call a spade a spade.
He's
I mean,
gonna-
his diet has changed drastically over the last month.
It has.
He's gonna be
I mean,
spitting up
All I
black
got
feathers.
to say is he sure better hope Mickelson doesn't do something to win this President's
oh.
Cup. Because, it's going to get ugly.
God almighty. The buffet I'm going to have to eat. Oh, man. Paula
The
Kramer.
ratchet jaw that will be on this radio will be unbearable for me.
I just won't show up.
I'm
the
sick
the
today.
controversial pick of Paula Kramer, and then Julie puts her in the anchor spot, and she comes through. She comes through with a win, and I watched. It's amazing to me, and tell me if I'm wrong. And we're going to get on the President's Cup and this other stuff, but you watch the European squad Solheim team. They play 4-ball, alternate shot, best ball, and they're world beaters. You can't keep up with them.
Mm-hmm.
The U.S. squad looks like that they've never played these matches before. They have no clue how to play them, and they absolutely do not get along with any of their teammates. That's just the way it looks.
Well, we've talked about
But then
this
when it
before.
comes
Yep.
to single matches, and
That's
it's the
it.
same with men.
Same with men. We've had the same
The
discussion.
Americans are either
Yeah.
trying to catch up in the Ryder Cup through the singles matches,
That's
and if
correct.
they don't sweep it, then they lose. But they make an effort, and then when you get down to singles matches with the men, European versus U.S. Ryder Cup teams, the Americans always play phenomenally in the singles. But you put them together in these team competitions, and they suck.
I think it's egos. You know what I mean? It's difficult. Not unless you really like the person you're playing with. I mean, it's tough because you're playing against somebody on a weekly basis, basically trying to beat their brains in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now all of a sudden we're buddies. We got to come together.
Oh, and Bubba's comment the other day, Jason Day, I think he's the best player in the world right now and all that, but I'm going to be friending him. I'm going to be disliking him on Facebook in 2 weeks in South Korea because he's now become an enemy.
Yep. See, that's what I'm talking about. I mean, it's
That was Bubba commenting, though.
It's
it's
just him trying to be funny.
I know.
yeah.
And he doesn't know how.
No, not at all. But that's kind of what I'm getting at. It's difficult to turn that switch off. You know what I mean? If you've got someone that you've played against, that's maybe beat you. You know what I mean? Once or twice. And it came down to the wire. You know what I mean? There's feelings gets involved.
But isn't it pretty amazing the parallels? The European squad, both men and women, play phenomenal team competition.
Oh, yeah.
And then when it comes to singles, they get wiped out. Yeah. Isn't that amazing?
Mm-hmm.
It's like the American squads, men or women, wake up. Now, did it take the controversy to spur them on? Who knows? Did it take the god-awful shirts that Ben Crenshaw had the team wear to spur him on? Who knows? But for whatever reason, in singles matches, if you just played Ryder Cup and Solheim Cup 3 days of single matches, I don't think there'd be a competition.
No.
The U.S. would just be the prominent winner and just keep the cup for the rest of our lives. Mm-hmm. You agree?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
We've got to do something.
Yep.
This was a big scare, just like the Ryder Cup is a big scare. The only good thing is next year they're actually playing it in the U.S., the Solheim Cup.
That doesn't seem to matter.
That'll be good. It doesn't.
Well, what venue?
When you sit and look at the record, it doesn't matter. I don't remember.
They want it more.
They're in the U.S. Pal.
The
That's all I know.
Europeans want it more.
Yeah, it seems to be. We talked
There's
about
no
that
question
100
about
times.
it.
Yeah. All right, let's step on next to the couple of weeks away from the President's Cup, which just this week got even more marketability, let's say, in the fact that Jim Furyk had to pull out of the Tour Championship, currently being held at East Lake, of course, sponsored by Coca-Cola. And now the question up in the air, does Captain Haas go ahead and designate or pick an individual to replace Jim, or is Jim going to be capable of playing? Is Jim even going to go to South Korea? Is he going to go as a captain or vice captain or just as a playing captain, or what is he going to do? What's your thoughts on this? Because you know the inside. Hell, you said Phil was going to be picked. So obviously you got the no.
I think it's.
I'm just leading the question, that's all.
From what I understand right now, trying to find out what's exactly going on with the wrist. And the Tour Championship, though, as important as it is, I think he pulled out not only because of the injury. Obviously, it's not a comfortable thing to find out what's going on, and is there the possibility for the President's Cup, or does he need to give Jay an answer so that he can make the decision to do what he wants to do? That's Jim just doing things the right way, handling it. And he knew he couldn't play, so let me go home, let me get this checked out, and then give Jay an answer so he knows what he's got to do. And then whatever he would like for me to do, he'll do.
Has that answer already been given?
No.
Okay. No. I'll look to you to get with your friend Jim, and let's find out the inside scoop on that. So maybe we can get a jump on the scoop on it. How about that, buddy?
Yeah, sure.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
No,
Say no more.
Not a problem.
You know what?
Look at Jim Furyk is a stallion. He doesn't have injury-related issues. Mm. He's a foundational rock for this tour, and for his age, and to be he's had a phenomenal year, and he tees it up with the flat bellies every week, and Jim's no longer a flat belly, but he hangs in there just like a Zach Johnson.
Definitely.
Okay, and for him to pull out of the Tour Championship, which he is a winner of, he is a past winner.
Yep.
For him to pull out, something's pretty serious.
Definitely.
And I think that's the fear. That's what's got him kind of scared. And I think that's what he wants to find out, because he doesn't want to drag it on to cause more.
Did we see it in Chicago? Did you get any hint of it in Chicago?
No, I didn't. But, again.
He didn't play all that great.
No.
But was it already bothering him, or had it already occurred? Or I had the question just a couple of days ago, was this all of a sudden an injury at home, or, was this a car accident, or what caused this damage? So, and still very, very quiet on that side.
Mm-hmm. And that's the way he handles things. So I think when he's ready to make the announcement, he'll let the world know.
Mm-hmm. But also, Jim's the type, too, that when he makes the announcement, he's going to go ahead with the answers already pre-scripted.
Oh, yeah.
That he's going to say, and yes, I cannot play in the President's Cup, and here's why, and I've already notified Captain Haas. I've already done this, but I will be traveling with the team. No. He'll already have all that scripted.
Oh, everything. The game plan will be done if he opens his mouth to the press. I can promise you that.
And that's because it's Jim.
Well, he covers his bases.
Yeah. Smart man.
Yeah.
Smart
Very.
Man. So let's hypothetically, let's talk about Furyk doesn't go to the President's Cup.
Yep.
Okay? We're looking at number 11, solid on the list right now, J.B. Holmes.
Well, with Furyk, I've just done a little bit of R&D to figure out what was wrong with him. It says right here, Tour Championship because of a busted bone in his wrist. So that's what he's got. He's busted something in his wrist.
Okay.
So that's what he said. He didn't know if he could play in the what events coming up, but that's what's happened.
So let's talk about replacement. Doggone shame Tiger went ahead and had the back surgery because he could go over with Phil and, just think the intimidation we would be putting on the European squad. Man, I'm even scared. I'm shaking right
See,
now.
I knew he was going to
I've
go
got
there,
goosebumps.
Jeff. I knew, and that's why I'm sitting here trying to get in touch with someone about something.
But anyway, one just really interesting thing. We'd like to congratulate Ernie Els on the Payne Stewart Award.
Oh, absolutely.
And,
Fantastic speech.
Fantastic speech,
Wonderfully done.
And then, but what made me think of that, was the captain because he was a former Payne Stewart recipient,
Yeah. And
Mr. Haas.
yeah, Mr. Haas, Sir Nick Faldo, Nick Price.
Yep. This award's given for
Hal
what
Sutton.
they do off of the course.
Hal's gained some weight.
Yep.
You notice
He's
that?
healthy.
Dude, he's been that way for a
That
while.
that jacket size gotten a couple sizes larger.
He had never had a small head.
No.
That's exactly right.
But and congratulations to Payne Stewart's daughter, who's getting married in a couple of weeks. And I think Jordan was sitting there in the end seat on the second row, just kept looking at her all night, saying, "Boy, did I miss that? Did I miss that?" She's beautiful
Oh, yeah, she is.
and a sweetheart.
Well, I mean,
and
no offense. Payne
intelligent.
Stewart was a good-looking guy, and his wife was a beautiful woman. And I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There's no way to screw that up when
No,
you have kids.
no.
It just that's just inevitable.
No. So, great ceremony. I appreciate, Al, you bringing that up. It was a lot of fun to watch. Ernie, there's no one on tour more deserving than Ernie Els,
Yep.
And
without a doubt.
I'll
to
second
be honest
that.
with you, he was not lying when he talked about Liesel and what she's done to try to keep him straight and do the right thing with him. Because Ernie, there's been many a night we've been up till 2 a.m. in a casino drinking, having fun in South Africa.
Well, that was long years ago, too.
It was,
And
but it was
Yep.
the fact of what he realized once Ben was born, in the autism
Yeah.
situation, it really, really made a 360-degree turn in Ernie Els, and you can
Yeah.
see it in the way he handles the crowd, the people, and the way he plays golf.
I've had the opportunity of seeing Ernie with Ben on one occasion in Atlanta. And just like they showed on the video the other day during the presentation of the award, I did not see a moment when Ernie was with Ben that he didn't have a smile on his face. Ben just makes him smile.
Yep.
he does.
He does.
He does.
And it's
Yeah.
it's no different than like we talked about Hilton Head. When he signed the stuff for Leanne that time, he wouldn't sign anything for anybody else, and I just kind of yelled at him, "Hey, cuzzy," because that's what we always. And then we were driving around the back by 13 to park back there and go walk around, and he was riding bikes because he was staying in a house back there with the kids. And I walked by, I said, "Dude, you're getting a little slow on that thing, And he stopped. Next thing you know, the kids are all around the car and they're all talking.
Mm-hmm.
They're just good people, And
Yeah.
you got to understand, folks, when they're between the ropes, that's their office.
That's their job.
Yep.
And there's
That's
no
right.
different than you being in your office. They're not gonna, every now and then, yeah, they'll do something, throw a ball or say hey, but
Right.
that's their workplace, and he is one of the best people. And to see him get that award and to listen to his how humble he was talking about Nick Price and the people that helped him and his
Right.
parents, that thank goodness my family had the resources, because what he's talking about in the conversion from the rand to the dollar is the truth.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I made 190,000 rand one year and came back, I think, with about $60,000.
Mm-hmm.
That's how bad the exchange rate was.
Right.
So I mean, it's all relative, but to see what he's trying to do over in South Africa
Yes,
with
sir.
Hendrik Bierman and Richard Kaplan and some of the other guys that played the tour that are good friends of Ernie's and friends of mine that
Right.
are club pros, and
Right.
they're doing these golf academies for these kids.
Right.
To see what they've done to try to help golf over there and grow it, because there's been some great players coming out of there. It says a lot about what these young men have become.
And what he and his wife and his daughter are doing for the Els Foundation in building the school, which is half built now. They're going to have anywhere from pre-K all the way through to the age of 22. It's going to be a university.
Man, that's awesome.
Is that not phenomenal?
That's phenomenal.
And over there, that's necessary. I mean, it's not like here. There's the school
They don't have
system
it
is
structured.
very. It's structured, but it's very different. It's, you go to university, it's specific for a reason. You can afford it, or you're that gifted. They're doing it for the average Joe's kid that wants to go to college. They can go where
Right.
they couldn't
Yeah.
before. Before they just went straight into a job, into the workforce.
Oh yeah.
And hats off to Southern Company for their, again, $500,000 contribution to charity, $100,000 going to one, $100,000 going to another, and then of course $300,000 going to the Ernie Els Foundation. So
That ought
you
to
know.
buy a brick or two to help them.
Yep.
Actually, according to Ernie, it's going to finish their par 3 golf course that is
Okay.
being attached to the school. And he's also building a track and field area. And he's going to host Special Olympics at the university.
Good.
So
Man, that's awesome.
and then
That's
he
awesome.
talked about the workplace for the graduates. He'll be employing a lot of them right there at the school
Man, that's
to be
awesome.
teachers and
Oh, yeah.
things of that sort. So phenomenal what he's done. Congratulations. Let's get back real quick to the President's Cup. I see it. The broken bone aspect in the wrist and the non-talking right now or whatever, I think pure and simply Captain Haas is going to use the Tour Championship this week. He's going to wait to see who wins this thing. And during our Pro Golf Talk show, we'll be covering the different scenarios of who the front runners are and what they need to do and all that. So I've got all that done. But I think he's going to sit and wait and see who wins this thing.
It's not necessarily to see who wins. I think he wants to see who plays the best. Who brings most to the table.
Well, more than likely, whoever wins it is probably already on the team.
That's what I was gonna say.
Or they're on Europe, or they're on Team World International squad, or whatever. But
There is no Team Europe till
I understand.
next year.
I said Europe, but it's international. So, moving on, I think he's looking at the Brooks Koepkas, the Harris Englishes, the Kirks, the Kirks, the J.B. Holmes, the Brooks. I still think it's Brooks Koepka. I really do. I think that's the choice.
I don't have an argument there, but I will tell you this, and I am partial, and I apologize for being biased. I think if he's not looking at Kevin Kisner, he's an idiot.
Yeah.
Because Kevin Kisner has got the biggest pair on him and would not be scared to go out there and play and do this.
Sure.
And he has earned the right.
Sure.
3 playoffs, and
I put him right there with English and
he's
the
number
others.
18 right now in the ranking
Right,
going
right.
into this week.
Yeah.
I mean, he has had a great year, and he deserves that look.
But if he listens to Freddie Couples or any of the other consults that he's brought in for his captaincy here, he's just going to go with pick 11, which is right now after his play in Chicago is J.B. Holmes. So
But that'll make you happy.
right now he's in number 11.
That'll make you happy.
I'll be happy with whoever he picks.
No, you
I'm
won't.
not.
You're never
I'm
happy.
still. Yes, I am happy. I've come into a solace. I'm somber now with the Mickelson pick. I'm good. Okay.
Yeah. You didn't like the Kramer pick either, and look what happened there.
I'm good.
Just trust me. If I tell you a grasshopper can pull a plow, go hitch him up. Because it's the truth.
Oh, me. Okay, moving on. I want to thank everybody for joining us here on the round table with you, Al, and George. TGD Radio and TV. I can't even do this. Here, you do this, dude. Oh, grasshopper. TGD Radio and TV are produced and broadcast by the Zeus Radio Network for thegolfdirector.com. When visiting the Golf Director, be sure to check out our featured course pages where you'll find up-to-date information about course conditions, specials, and much more. Need help with the next golf vacation?
Just call Dave.
Give us a call right here at 844-GO-GOLF-1. That's 844-464-6531. All of our programming is archived for viewing on demand, so you can just go to TGD Radio or TGD TVs in the menu screen at thegolfdirector.com. I know, dude. We're now available on over 1
Billion
devices at iTunes, Audio Realm, TuneIn, YouTube, Ustream, Roku, Periscope, Catch.me, and that's with a K, Blueberry and Myrtle Beach Golf app. Again, for Al, George, and Hugh, we want to thank you for joining us, and we want to thank Jeff behind the glass. There's a lot more golf news and information coming up next.